Welcome to the ElysianNxt Development Center, where award-winning RiskTech is continuously being elevated to future-proof your institutions. Over the last few years, financial risk management has changed dramatically, and it's still changing fast. Regulators are raising the bar, data volumes are exploding, and banks are expected to move from static reporting to dynamic risk steering. Today, we'd like to share what we see as the key trends shaping financial risk management across regions, and how we continue to evolve the ElysianNxt platform to help our clients stay ahead of those challenges. Let's start in Europe.
In Europe, we clearly see two major forces at work which are very much linked. Given the current geopolitical situation, we notice that banks are focusing more and more on stress testing, and particularly credit risk stress testing. Also, the climate-related stresses are becoming part of even supervisory expectations. Second, many banks are actively replacing their legacy IFRS 9 systems. These systems were built for static batch processing. They are simply too slow and too rigid to support large-scale simulations, what-if analysis, or forward-looking scenario management. Banks want speed, flexibility, and the ability to interact with their numbers, not just report them.
We are clearly in the middle of an IFRS 9 replacement wave. Many banks are still running systems they implemented 10 years ago, often on the exact same release. Why? Because key elements like rules and PD models were hard-coded on-site, making change slow, risky, and expensive. That's why Elysian made a different choice from day one: zero footprint. Our clients evolve with every release. They benefit from continuous improvements, without disruption and expensive migrations. The result? Real value year after year, not just at go live. As our client, you stay ahead of the curve.
We saw that same IFRS 9 replacement wave in Australia as well, perhaps even more pronounced. All of our Australian clients, they started their journey with the Basel 3.1 reforms, but they quickly moved into a second phase where they also implemented IFRS 9.nxt. So in general, Australian banks are actively moving away from siloed solutions. Instead of separate tools for provisioning, capital, liquidity, and risk modeling, they are looking for one integrated platform that brings everything together. Other areas you see banks and auditors moving towards are granular data submissions, which require data lineage and consistency and enhanced modeling sophistication. So the message is clear: risk management needs to be holistic, consistent, traceable, and fast across all risk types.
In my experience working with institutions like the KBC Group, Bank B, and EcoBank, everything starts with data. Getting the data right and keeping it right is critical. With data.nxt, banks can ingest data, identify issues, correct them, and manage data quality centrally. The big advantage is having one clean, trusted data set that feeds expected credit loss calculations, RWA and capital measurements, interest rate risk and liquidity risk, all from the same source. Regulatory reporting is important, of course, but the real value is that banks can actively manage risk using simulations and what-if scenarios on the fly.
We saw this very clearly in our project with Credit Spring in London. What started as a compliant initiative quickly became something much more strategic. By having fast simulations and integrated risk views, they were able to turn regulatory requirement into business insight and decision support. That shift from compliance to value creation is something we increasingly see across our client base.
Because of regulations like BCBS 239, traceability is a massive deal for banks right now. The big questions regulators are asking is, can you show us exactly how you got this number? Most systems make that pretty hard, but with Sapphire, we've made that end-to-end traceability the default. This means that you can trace any data point back to its original source in seconds. So what we've built is not just a front-end tool for data mapping. What we've built is a way for you to understand, explain, and validate your numbers, and give you and your regulators complete peace of mind.
The growing need for users to analyze stressed and forward-looking credit risk measures, such as ECL and RWA, led us to develop a central portfolio stress and forecasting model within the ElysianNxt platform. This model allows banks to simulate their portfolio under different assumptions and scenarios, and then run those simulated portfolios directly through our existing regulatory calculators. With forecasting and stress testing comes the need for potentially massive, ad hoc and bursty compute capacity. This is one of the reasons why we introduced our serverless compute capability. Compute is provisioned only when required, enabling multiple calculation jobs to run fully in parallel, completely isolated from each other and without contention. Serverless benefits both our existing and future clients, regardless of scale or workload.
You may have seen our campaign around 1 million simulations for the price of an espresso. That's not just marketing. Serverless computing means that a massive simulation run can cost less than $5. It's a true pay-as-you-go model. Banks can run unlimited simulations and stress tests on large portfolios without breaking the bank. That fundamentally changes how risk teams work.
Forecasting introduces new complexities and growing data needs, and to stay ahead, we've created Sapphire. We designed it to handle the most demanding data loads and transformations, but also to hide that complexity behind an intuitive user interface. We've turned data management into a true self-service experience so that the teams who know the data the best can manage it themselves. And because Sapphire was built on top of our serverless architecture, we've essentially removed the speed limit. Performance is simply a matter of scaling up whenever we need to.
Our clients consistently tell us they love the performance, the user experience and the ability to run limitless simulations. With one integrated platform combining all financial risk factors, with the ability to forecast your balance sheet, all powered by serverless technology, we are enabling banks to move from reporting risk to actively steering it. That's why our tagline has never been more relevant. ElysianNxt, tomorrow solutions today.